is sponsored by ACMC 339.0, New Style Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam.
Is the COVID-19 pandemic affecting your business or your livelihood? Are you struggling to pay your pending and current bills? Then you must listen very carefully. Premium advertising will expose your business to thousands of people instantly by using both digital and terrestrial radio and a wide range of social media platforms to get your business out there and start making money. It is that simple, so don't delay. Contact us to advertise your business on New Style Radio 98.7 FM, www.newstyleradio.co.uk, and all multiple social media platforms. A highly trained digital marketing team will create a bespoke digital marketing strategy tailored to get your business up and running and making money in no time. Don't delay, call us today. Our team is standing by. 07584197380. WhatsApp us on 07872443765 or email us at newstyleradio@yahoo.com.
Good afternoon. How you doing? Welcome to another program in this series of What's on Your Mind. I am Carl. The program is produced by Breakthrough TV at gmail.com. Let me say thank you for tuning in. Once again, don't forget this is a live program. It is a live stream. So let me say thank you for tuning in. We are broadcasting to you directly live from our studio. We're also still celebrating our 1 year anniversary. I want to say thanks to all you guys who wished us all the best and say congratulations. My sister Beulah, how you doing? Yes. Dear Tick, wherever you are in the world, big shout out to you. Sister Binta in Africa, and all you guys in Africa who actually tune into the program, let me say thank you. Thank you, massive respect. Conita Taylor, all you guys, I say thank you for picking us up. You know what I mean? We appreciate it very, very much. Yeah. Hope you have a good day. Today is not too bad. It's been all right. And don't forget to say we are still celebrating our 1 year anniversary. And we'll be having a few things coming up and looking at a few things that is actually happening. Yeah. And quite a few of the headlines as well. As I say, you know, the big thing is going on. Quite a few of the big things. We know the war is still going on. And Russia has actually allegedly cut off gas supply to Poland and also Bulgaria. So we'll see how that goes. And Emmanuel Macron has actually won the French election. He beat Marine Le Pen in the very, very close race. And as you know, Marine Le Pen is to the far right. And I think some guys in Europe or some politicians in Europe can breathe a sigh of relief because I don't think a lot of people wanted Marine Le Pen to get in. So that should be quite interesting. And as I say, but you never know what's going to happen and we never know how things are going to change. And we say the war still carries on, you know what I mean, in Ukraine and in Russia. And we don't know what's going to happen because it's getting a bit, you know, sort of tense now, you know what I mean? I know NATO and other countries are talking about supplying weapons to Ukraine, and you don't know what's going to happen, you know what I mean? And maybe we're gonna have a I don't know, maybe we're heading towards probably World War III, because can you imagine if Putin decided to retaliate and then the NATO decided to hit Russia with all the nukes that they can find? That's World War III, isn't it? It's a very, very serious time. As I say, very, very serious time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. As you know, I always look at a few things that is happening around the world. Let me say thank you. And there's some strange things being happening around here. We sort of look at things that you don't see in the popular headlines. You know what I mean? That's how we actually do it. And we find a story from very, very good source. Now, go on in America. In America, yes, a Caucasian man has actually been charged in Wisconsin. And he has been terrorizing Nubian people, African American, people of color. He has been terrorizing. He slashed their tires. He heard racial abuse. He write notes and put it down terrorizing them. Oh, get out of my neighborhood, he wrote. And as I say, he's been doing this for, I think it's about since 2021. Now they've actually decided to finally charge him. And we'll see where that sort of thing goes. Horrible racialists, you know what I mean? You could say horrible when people are sort of do that sort of thing. It's not nice, you know what I mean? And I say he's been also terrorizing so many African American and doing some crazy things to African American, writing notes, slashing tires, intimidating, racist abuse, you know what I mean? Terrorizing people. So we are sort of say, we see where justice goes with this man. Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I should tell you his name is actually William McDonald. Yeah. So there you have it. Disgusting person. Absolutely disgusting. Moving on to my next story. Now, British Nubian teens. This is a report that actually came out in the Metro. And it's a British Nubian teens, or sort of, what they're actually saying are listening, frightened of the police. For the fact, one lad has been stopped 60 times. The Independent Office Force police report came out, and it has been published. It was published on Friday, and it is actually saying black people were 7 times, African Caribbean people were 7 times more likely to be stopped than their counterparts, which is white Caucasians. And between the age of 14 and 16, a 14-year-old African Caribbean youth was stopped and handcuffed. He was walking through a cemetery and he was stopped and searched. Also, a 12-year-old was handcuffed within 20 seconds after the police officer comes out their car. And he had a plaster on. You know what I mean? He had a plaster on. They don't say exactly where he had a plaster on. I suppose he had some serious injuries. And he was actually stop and search. So we see this stop and search going on all the time. And this is not me saying this. This is actually what comes out in the report. You know what I mean? Which is the independent report. So we hope things is going to make a difference sooner or later. And I said the one lad who was stopped like 60 times. And sometimes these stopping happen in the space of 2 days. It can happen within 2 days, or it can happen in the same. Sometimes they stop and search in 1 day twice. Stop and search you in 1 day 2 times, which is, we don't know where that is going on. We just don't know where it's going on. But I hope that report will actually, you know what I mean, make some sense or change the effect of what is going on. Yeah. Now, my next story is like, there's a couple of terrible stories this week, you know what I mean. The young man you see on my screen, he's a 20-year-old man, and somebody broke into his house in London, and he was stabbed. The paramedics came onto the scene, but it was too late. He was dead. And the police has named him as Elliot Fogarque. And it is a terrible thing to happen to this young man. As I say, somebody break into his house and stabbed him. And, you know, the only thing we can say is like big condolence to his family, you know what I mean, and hope some justice will take place very, very soon and it will be all sorted out. Yeah. Thank you. Now, the other story is also a very, very terrible story, which is, and this was Monday, 4 members of one family stabbed to death in London. Denton Burke, 58. Sorry, my apologies. Denton Burke was 58. Dowlett Hill was 64. Samantha Drummond, 27. And also Miss Hill's daughter, a 45-year-old lady, Raquel. She was also killed. A 20-year-old man was arrested, and he's in hospital being guarded by police. No, the police are still investigating, and no thing has come out where what happens or what has caused this sort of incident of allowing 4 people to sort of be killed. You know what I mean? So it is one of those terrible things that you actually see all the time. And say this is where we also say big condolence to the family and all their friends in that sort of situation. And I said this only happens on Monday. So Terrible, terrible, terrible sort of situation. We see this going on all over the world, and you don't know what's happening. You don't know what. So I always say you don't know what people are around. Some crazy people. Some mad people are streets. You know what I mean? Or mad people when they break into your house. You know what I mean? And I said this was a African Caribbean family also. You know what I mean? That was all sort of wiped out. Yeah. Go back to United States. Black news. Now, this is also another terrible story. Delvin Page Jr. And he was a 3-year-old. A 3-year-old young guy. He was actually sleeping in his room. And his 1-year-old sister was actually sleeping in the same room. However, there was a fight outside and a gunshot went off. What happened? The gunshot came into where the young lad was sleeping, and he was killed. A 3-year-old. Can you imagine living in that neighborhood? A 3-year-old. So it's just one of those terrible situations. I'd say it's a young 3-year-old, which is absolutely disgusting. Now, there's a report that Shaquille O'Neal will actually be paying for the young man's funeral. Yeah. Don't forget, this is a live stream. Don't forget to share the program on the live stream. I want to say a big shout out to all you guys who actually also tune in on Facebook. Yeah. Thank you. Now, Jamaica. Now, 2 in custody. Double shooting in Hanover. A 3-year-old was also shot. Now, the defense minister, Dr. Chang, has actually said the hallmark of this seems to be a contract killing. He also said in the last 6 months, there has been a rise in the amount of people getting killed in contract killing, which is absolutely disgusting. And we hope Jamaica government can sort of get that together, because there's so much things going on that island at the moment. You know what I mean? You don't know where it's going to end very, very soon. However, the also story, another one behind this story, still in Jamaica. Now, Prime Minister Honus said that the country is currently experiencing a labor shortage. And he's thinking of importing labor from abroad. He says there's a lot of unemployment, but a lot of people don't want to work. Yes. And what he suggests, he's going to develop a mandatory training system for young people. Young people who got into crime, and also the victims of crime. And to help training so they can get into jobs. And I said, but if you don't, if the jobs is there and you don't want to take it, it's absolutely disgusting. You know what I mean? And it says you can do a lot. You can do a lot with training. As I said, but if the people is not taking the jobs, what else can you do? And as I said, the Prime Minister of that country is under a lot of pressure at the moment. You know what I mean? He's under a lot of pressure. And I think this is a good one. I gotta say this is a good one. If you train the young people, to sort of get to work and stop being lazy, and stop being lazy, you have to work. You have to work for a living. That's how there's no way around it. You have to work for a living. If you want to pay your bills or you want something, I know someone want to thief or someone want to crime or commit all kind of crime. But it's not the right way. You know what I mean? And it's not about not working or smoking weed all day and all the rest of it. You have to be trained. And Jamaica shouldn't be really, you know what I mean? Jamaica shouldn't be trying to talk about, importing labor. You know what I mean? This should have gone into practice a long time ago. It should not be happening now. Different governments should have put this in place a long time ago. You know what I mean? And it says it's one of those things that's happening. But at the same time, we must also say we want to big up all the youths that are getting trained and all the youths that are working. You know what I mean? So we want to say a big shout out to all the Jamaican youths who's doing very, very well, because we know a lot of you are doing very, very well. Sometimes you see we talk about this, you know what I mean, and nobody don't talk about it. We know a lot of you young youths are doing very well. So I want to say big up all the youngsters and all the people who's working and doing their very best to make ends meet and to make the country a better place than what it is, yeah? Right. Let me move on. Let me say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let's say, we are also on Facebook. So let me say thank you. Also want to say big shout out to our American viewers also our viewers up there in Canada. Let me say big shout out to you. And let me say as well, I want to say big shout out to Christine. Let me say happy birthday to you, Christine. You know where you are in the world. Also, Jennifer, happy birthday to you. Yes, we do the birthday as well. Michelle, also happy birthday to you, you know what I mean? And Christine, also happy birthday to you. You see, all ladies, you know. You notice all ladies. No, I got to say, perhaps no men don't have any birthday. I don't know why do we don't have any requests for men to have birthdays. Probably men don't have a birthday, but it's all the ladies that say, we say happy birthday to you. But men, if you want me to give you a shout out, you have to send your request in and we'll do that, you know what I mean? I just say, don't forget to leave your comments, yeah? As I say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share the program with your friends. And as I must say as well, let me say thank you for all you guys who's tuning in, wherever you are tuning in from the rest of the world. Now, let me move on to sports. Now, Holly Morgan used to play for Leicester FA women team in the league. What she's actually done now, she's actually set up her own managerial agency. And she wants to help individuals, both on and off the field, to do better things or to help them achieve their success. And we say, big shout out to the wonderful lady that's gone into management, you know what I mean? It's not a lot of people that you actually see of color that got into sort of football management or management agency, you know what I mean? I think there's a few, but not a lot. So as I say, it's good to see that, and we say big shout out to her. And I said the amount of people that sort of got into it's this, you know what I mean, is absolutely fantastic. And also she's actually what we say, she's a Nubian queen, you know, which is absolutely fantastic. And I think we actually need to see more of this happening. You know, we need to see more people of Nubian descendants or Nubian people going into management, even football management, having big success. This is very important. African Caribbean, African Jamaican, African American. I'm going to tell you a little bit later on. About an African American billionaire. Yeah. And what he's done. And I think we can't all be billionaire, but we can train and do better and achieve more. Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, my next story is like, yes, a number of football players, including Paul Bopa, their long-term contract is going to be up at the end of the month. So, they're all likely to be having a free transfer. Which is absolutely, it's a bargaining power. You can bargain and you can do this and you can have different bargains. So, a lot of people are going to be sort of bargaining for all these. A lot of players in Europe, as I say, it'll be a free contract time. So, as I said, the season ain't too far away before its end. So, we see who's going to go or who's not going to go where and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I must also, before I go to my next story, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys see the boxing on Saturday between Tyson Fury and Dillian White. Now, I never actually see the boxing, but I've seen some of the reports, you know what I mean? And some people say Tyson Fury, his reach was much too longer than White, you know what I mean? But however, White has come out and he says he was a bit angry because he says like Tyson Fury was making illegal move, and it's like Tyson Fury was sort of wrestling with him. As I said, I never saw the fight, so I never sort of see what was happening. But those are some of the reports. And he also blames the referee, and he said Tyson was making illegal move because it felt like a wrestling match. And I say I can't really comment on that sort of issue because I never see the fight. And if you don't see something, you can't really comment. So you can leave your feedback and say what you think or how it went, or you know what I mean. And we'll pick up on it. Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I mean, if you see Tyson Fury, he's a big guy. He's a long reach. You know what I mean? And as I say, he's also thinking of retiring. I don't know if he's actually going to retire or what, but it'd be interesting to see actually what happens there. Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, let me move on. Slincia, you know, the wonderful lady. Now, Slincia has actually signed. She's signed a global deal with AVAX USA. AVAX is also a Japanese company. Yeah. And as I say, she has filed a big deal with them. She has signed a big deal with them. And they're hoping to market her worldwide, both in America and internationally. So we'll actually see where Slincia actually goes from here, you know what I mean? And it'll be actually marvelous. It'll be actually marvelous to see Slen where she actually goes from here. And I say she's a very, very marvelous singer. She's doing very, very well at the moment. And it's better. It's better. We'll see how great she. And I gotta say, you know, she is gonna be. I think she's gonna be very, very big. Absolutely fantastic. I think she's a wonderful looking lady, and I think she's actually gonna be big. If she gets the right deal, she's gonna take over the whole place. You know what I mean? And I say, we'll see how it goes. I say, and she's got quite a few tunes out. You know what I mean? I gotta say some of them is, you know what I mean, some of those tunes. they're not sort of radio friendly. As I say, Slincia is absolutely marvelous, and she'll be a marvelous person. Yeah. Let me say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. Marvelous lady, Slincia. Yeah. Thank you. Now, Stephen Marley returns to touring in the USA. He's actually going to be doing 19 cities. His tour starts on the 26th of May. So, it'd be good to see that. The trouble is we are so far from America that we won't be able to see that. Yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, my next story is, I gotta tell you now, this is so close to home that it's so close to home that it's ridiculous. I'm not gonna say ridiculous, but it's so close to home. Now the man you see on my screen, he came on Britain's Got Talent. It's a competition that we have in the UK, and it's called Britain's Got Talent. Simon is he's like the great host of it. He puts the whole program together. And the man you see on my screen, his name is Mel. His name is actually Mel Day. And Mel Day is actually from Birmingham, which is the city. And I never actually see the program, but I was actually in my house, and I was lying in my couch on my settee on Sunday, and I'm going through my social media, and then I look at it and I thought, Mel Day, the Mel Day. So I went to YouTube and I started watching it, and it was Mel Day, and Mel Day was on Britain Got Talent, and this is somebody actually know quite pretty well, which is actually fantastic. And he used to be in a band. He used to be in a band with what we call the Sylvester Brothers from Birmingham. And I think that they were sort of just before around at the time of JLN Band. I'm not sure if he was in JLN Band, but I know the band he was really in was a band called Soul Out. Now, in London you have Soul to Soul, and in Birmingham you had a band called Soul Out, and he was in that band. He was also in a band called, with a lot of different people, a blues man, you know what I mean? I say he's been around Birmingham for quite so many years. The man is 77. And I must say to you, in that competition, he went in there and he mashed up the place. Everybody was dancing. Everybody was on their feet. Even Alicia Dixon couldn't sit in his chair. Everybody in the whole room was actually lit up, you know what I mean, which is absolutely fantastic. And he was actually doing a dance. He was actually doing a dance, and he was doing the song as well to the fantastic Wilson Pickett, Land of 1,000 Dances, which it was actually marvelous. So that is always something very humorous. So we always say big shout out to Mel there. We got to give him a big cheer. Yeah, fantastic. And I say, he was in the group for a very long time. And I said, when you're 77, you know what I mean, it's like his time has come, which is absolutely marvelous and actually great. And he's actually say it's very good to see somebody at that sort of age still got it and still got the moves. But you know, let's say, you know, once you got soul, you got soul. Once you got soul, you never lose it. Once you're a good singer, or once you're a good musician, or all that other stuff, you never actually lose it. So it is actually marvelous to see Mel there doing such great work. And as I say, I haven't seen him for many years, but actually, I remember when I was actually in a couple of bands in Birmingham. I remember he was always around the scene. And he always comes and sort of give you great encouragement. I mean, he's a lot older than myself. But he always comes and give the young people a very good encouragement, which is marvelous to see. I mean, when those senior guys come and give you encouragement and say, do this and do that, and this is how it goes, you know, man, those are the guys that you actually learn from. I don't know if it happens much these days, you know what I mean, but it was absolutely marvelous, yeah? So, big shout out to you, Mel. I hope you win, yeah? Now, I got to tell you now about this man. Yes. Now, this man, his name is, well, Robert F. Smith. Robert F. Smith is an American billionaire. I said I was going to talk about this American billionaire, isn't it? He's an African-American billionaire. And he's actually launched a couple of buses. And these buses will go across the United States. And they'll be testing people for prostate cancer. Yeah, which is absolutely marvelous to see. And a couple of American stars was actually there with the launch, which was like Steve Harvey, Chris Tucker, and a whole lot of other American artists that was actually there. And that's this bus will go all across America. A couple of different buses will go across America. And they'll be testing people for prostate cancer because they say African-American people of color got a higher risk of getting prostate cancer than our Caucasian people. And I say it's good to see this. And he's pumped a lot of money into these organizations over the years. I mean, in 2021, he pumped $3.8 million, you know, into the Foundation for Prostate Cancer. And he's also helped a lot of students over this. When you hear you talk about student loan and all this thing like this man being involved in it. He's not giving the student, he pays off all these loans for these students in America, which is absolutely great to see. And as I said, this is the guy I was actually saying, wait, I'll tell you about this guy. This guy has done great things. I think we did have a clip of him somewhere. I don't know if we're going to be able to find it. But as I say, he's done fantastic and done great work, you know what I mean? And we say big shout out to him. As I say, his name is Robert F. Smith. And if you've never heard of him before, you've heard of him now. And he actually launched this campaign in Harlem, which was absolutely marvelous. And as I say, because of people of color who suffer so highly, at a higher risk with prostate cancer, he actually did marvelous. And we say big shout out to you, sir. And we're going to say thank you and maximum respect. I got to give him a clap, yeah? Thank you. Marvelous. And we need more of these people. You know what I mean? We need more of these people to stand up. We even need more people of color to be standing up. And don't wait for other people. We need to do this. Because you know what? I know there's a lot of people of color out there with money. You know what I mean? We know that. There is a lot of people of color out there who are very successful. We know that. Because we've seen it all over the years. No, I'm not going to ask what them do with their money. That's not my business. But what I'm saying to you, people of color, we need to stand up because a lot of us need help. And when you see a man like that doing what he does, you know what I mean? It's absolutely marvelous. And I say, our people, we need to stand up. We need to stand up a little bit more, because a lot of who know a lot of money over the years, I can help. You know what? I'm going to tell you a story now, before I go into this, because this just jumped into my head. Don't forget, this is a live program, so this jumped into my head. Now, the Commonwealth is coming to Birmingham, right? And, now let's, for instance, I say to you, I've got somebody coming from the United States, or Canada, or wherever in the world. I'm a person of color, yes? Yes. And I want to take them to a nice Caribbean restaurant in Birmingham. I mean nice. I mean crisp. I mean lockdown. I mean sophisticated. I mean water so brilliant. You know what? Shall I tell you something? I'd be struggling to find one. What do you think that is? I'd be struggling to find a top Caribbean restaurant in Birmingham. Why is that? There's a lot of takeaway. A whole heap of takeaway. But to go to a posh Caribbean restaurant, well, you're watching this program. If you see one, let me know. I'll put it on the screen there because I'm still looking for one. There is a fantastic African restaurant, which is not too far from here, which is a little place called the Blue Marlin, I think it's called. Big shout out to you, Blue Marlin. I have been to the Blue Marlin. It's in Hockley, Birmingham. But to find a top in Birmingham, I'm talking about. I don't know about the rest of the country. But to find a top Caribbean restaurant owned, I'll be struggling. I'll be literally struggling to find one of these, which is a disappointment, because so when all my athletes friends come over now, and I said to you, come over from the Caribbean, come, let me take you to a top Caribbean restaurant. I can't find one. Owned by our own people. I can't find one. There may be a few that owned by other people, but owned by our own people, I can't find one. Tell me if I'm wrong or am I right? And I says, I'm talking about Birmingham because we broadcast this program from Birmingham. Yeah? Right. Now, that was one of them ones. But I had to say that because it jumps into my head while I was talking. And I'm talking the reality of things, and a lot of you guys out there know it. Now, this one, I got to give you the health warning because this carries a health warning actually. So, I don't feel easy talking about this. Not at all. Internet Watch Foundation. Sex abuse online is it at a high rate, up from 2 years ago, 400%. Girls 11 to 13 years, 7 to 10 is the fastest growing rate of sex abuse for young people and children online. And what these devils do, they groom children, making children taking their pictures off. They're taking a picture of themselves and sending it to them. ITN had a report on this sometime this week. And this is what happens. I'll tell you this. This is what came out in the ITN report. Have a listen to this. This is sickening. I want to see you with no clothes, no underwear, this time to a 15-year-old, which is absolutely disgusting. The government needs to take a strong action on this. The safety bill is coming together, but it hasn't come together properly yet. So the government actually needs to deal with this and deal with it tough. These perverts, these disgusting people. Yeah. I can hardly comprehend what I'm actually talking about. I know what I'm talking about, I can hardly comprehend because it is not a nice and easy thing to talk about. The other thing now, which I'm not knocking anybody. Now, parents, I got to ask you guys, do you know what your children is doing now upstairs in their bedroom? Do you know what device they've got upstairs in their bedroom? Do you know who they're talking to in their bedroom? And I'm talking about children. Adult is adult. We're talking about children here. Do you know what they're talking about? Do you know who they're online with? A 7 to 10 or 11 to 15-year-old. Where is your child now? Because you actually need to protect your child from this sort of scumbag that is going around and doing these things. And the internet providers and all these guys, they actually need to get tough on this sort of thing as well. This is not very nice. So we need to see something being done to it. You know what I mean? We need to see tough action. Tough action need to be done to it. And I say, both male and female children suffer from abuse. And it will destroy their life forever. And as I say, I can't bear parents. But as I said before, we need, you parents, you need to know what device your child is playing around with. Who is your children associating with at that sort of age? And what are they up to at that sort of age? You need to protect your children. I mean, we all need to protect our children. You know what I mean? So, as I say, this sort of thing is absolutely disgusting. It's scumbag. You can't comprehend it, and you can't comprehend the sort of stuff that is going on these days. Some of the things I actually come across, you could say we have to censor it. Some of the things I could actually talk about, you know what I mean? It's very, very disturbing. It's very, very disturbing. It's very, very disturbing coming out of my mouth. You know what I mean? And I said the government needs to do something quick and something fast, because you can't have a situation where it's rising and rising and rising so quickly. You know what I mean? And there you have it. I don't know what to say, because I said this is not very nice to talk about. We actually tried to recruit somebody in the studio today, a female, to help us talk about this. However, she wasn't very well, so she wasn't able to come, because I would love to be sitting down here with a female, somebody of the opposite sex, talking about this. And you are invited as well. Ladies, wherever you are, you're invited at any time you feel you want to talk about this, or you want to, we have a conversation about this. You know what I mean? Because it's all right me sitting here talking about children and children, but we only heard in my one side of view. It is very good if we could get some of you guys out there to come in, or some experts who knows the field even more. I can only trigger things, you see. I can only trigger things. You can actually send us an email, you know what I mean, and let us have a chat with you. Let's share your thoughts on this program, because some of you are experts at this, you know what I mean? So let me say, you can send us an email at breakthroughtv.com. Yeah? Let me say thank you. And if you suspect anything like this is going on or something online with your children, get in touch with somebody. Call the authorities, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people who actually deal with it. So call the authorities and help to sort this out and put these scumbags to rest. You know what I mean? And I don't say that lightly, because this is absolutely disgusting and it's absolutely terrible. And you can't see things. And before I actually start talking about this, I had to really think so much. You know what I mean? And actually think of what was happening. And I say you can send your email to breakthroughtv@gmail.com. Yeah? Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Yeah. Now, let me move on. Now, Chris Rock. See, this story won't die, you see. Let's have a bit of light heart in this now, you know what I mean? I've punched that one, didn't I? I really punched that one, yes. So let me have a bit of light-hearted thing now to sort of see if I can ease the tension. Because I felt really tense there talking about this. Now, Chris Rock, the story keeps going on and going on and going on and going on. And it hasn't finished. Now, Chris Rock, I don't think Chris Rock has talked about this incident yet. If he does, it has been since we've been online. Where Will Smith slap him, yes? But that story hasn't died. Allegedly, Will Smith has actually gone to India. He's doing things in India. He's relaxing and, getting his head together or whatever. Not that I ever think anything's wrong with Will Smith's head. I don't really think so. But he's one of them ones. I got my own opinion on that. So, we see everybody talk about this. Everybody's trying to analyze Will, from the experts and the non-experts and in the family and at the house, except Chris Rock hasn't talked about this. Even Will Smith's mother has talked about this. Yes, the slap. Now, I got to tell you now, the slap, Rosalie Rock has talked about this. And this is Chris Rock's mother. She's talked about this. And I thought, no, everybody have a right to talk. But I thought, why did she talk about this? She said she was hurt. She said she felt she has been slapped as well. Or she felt her family had been slapped. That was her That was her thing about it. The trouble about it now, you see, this is what happens when you do something like this. Now, as I said, her son hasn't talked about this. Now, a whole lot of people has come out on social media. And they've been saying nasty things. Some of the things that they say are very, very nasty. So sometimes you just have to leave things, let it chill. As I said, our son hasn't talked about this. So sometimes you have to leave things and make it chill. Now, when she come in and talk about it, she get a lot of criticism. People will always criticize her, but she get a lot of criticism. One critic she had on social media, she says, one lady says, you should have trained your son how to talk with manners and respect for other people. You should have trained your son not to make joke about like that, people who has got a condition. You see? So when you do things like that, you know what I mean? As I say, everybody got the right to talk. his speech. Freedom of speech is called, isn't it? But when you talk about freedom of speech, you set yourself up to be heavily criticized. And she don't need that. So I think she should have just left it to her son and let him come and talk instead of she want to talk. But as I said, everybody has talked about it, you know what I mean? And to be honest now, let's face it now. Aren't we sick? Are we sick about hearing that slap? I mean, there's other things going on in the world. Even you got me talking about it now. You see what happened? Oh, dear me. Don't forget, as I say, we're having our 1 year celebration still, you know what I mean? And we've had a great time actually doing this program for the whole year. It's been marvelous. And we want to say thanks to all you guys who actually supported the program. You've actually been brilliant, and a lot of you have been marvelous, you know what I mean? And we say thank you. And we have had wonderful supports, and we have very, very good support. I got to say, we haven't had any negative support, which is good. We haven't seen them. And we never deal in the negative anyway. So how you doing? I mean, we just leave that to the side. And we just carry on to the program, doing what we want to do. Yeah. And let's say, I want to say thanks to all you guys who've been tuning in. Jennifer Wallace from in Canada. Let me say a big thank you. The program. Hector McClue in the United States. Let me say thank you. Around the world. Shazzy D was a marvelous guest. A whole lot of guests we had on the program, you know what I mean? And we say big shout out to all the guys who actually take part in the program. Sister Andrea Maynard Braid, she was also taking part in the program, and she was absolutely marvelous. And she actually told us about a book that she wrote, you know what I mean, and she put together with a bunch of ladies, you know what I mean, and she actually came on the program once, and she actually told us about domestic violence, yeah. going to put my headphone on because I need to comment on this, what I'm talking about, yeah? So she actually came into the studio and she was actually telling us about domestic violence and all that sort of thing that people has gone through, which was absolutely marvelous. Also, another lady we had was Sister Kanita Taylor, and she's also been through domestic violence and that. And so we'll have a look at a few clips and see how we've improved over the past couple of months or the last year. And as I say, it hasn't been an easy ride, but you know what I mean, with dedication, that's how you sort of look at. Then we're gonna have a look at sort of week 39. Week 39, I think we actually had a chat with Sister Mona Dodd. Sister Mona Dodd is the daughter of Sir Coxon Dodd. And we went down to her place, or a place that, not her place, it was her son's place. We went down to her place and we had a wonderful interview. And she was such a nice lady, you know. We had a great chat. She was so welcoming and she talked to us absolutely fantastic. And I say she's the daughter of the legendary Clement Coxon Dodd. You know what I mean? Really talk to her, yeah? Let's hear what she actually having to say to us.
Lounge Pub, Mona Dodd. Hiya, Mona.
Hi, Carl. I'm just going to correct you there.
Yes.
I don't own this pub. It's my son's pub.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, is that your real name, Mona?
I hope so.
You hope so.
They might strip me of it.
Let me say thank you for talking to us right here.
Yeah.
I don't know, we're going to go through a lot of things you've been going through and some things we're going to talk about. Let me say it is nice for you to, you know, to give us some of your presence here, you know what I mean? So, Mona, where was you born? Was you born in Kingston?
Jamaica.
You were born in
Kingston, yeah.
Jamaica. Tell us a little bit about that.
Father was a very strict person, no nonsense. As you all know, no nonsense. I think his expectation for his children was high.
Okay.
Because we were the firstborn, and Junior was his eyeball.
Okay.
Because if you know, he's named after him, Clemency Moddard Jr.
All right.
Yeah. So he was a no-nonsense man, and he wanted the best for his children.
Yeah. So you went to country? You told me you went to country.
When you mean go to country, he took me to his aunt that lived in, is it Bullbeer, Buffbeer? I'm not quite sure.
I think it was a place called Bullbeer.
I think it was Bullbeer, yeah. And she was, I can't remember if she was a teacher or something like that.
Oh, sure.
Yes. And I stayed there probably a year.
Okay.
Probably a year that my mum came back
Okay.
and took us. Well, she came back for me and my older sister. And she was going to leave Claudia and Junior, but then hell broke out.
Serious?
Hell broke out.
What do you mean hell broke out?
Wow.
Sister Mona Dodd, they are absolutely fantastic. Had a great time and it was a great chat with her. Don't forget, you can actually go to our channel and watch the full interview, and that's Breakthrough TV. You can go to our channel and you can actually watch that, which is an absolute marvel. I want to say a big shout out for Sister Mona as well, because I know she's a very busy lady for actually taking the time out to chat with us. You know what I mean? And you know, we felt great when we did that, you know, broadcast, which was, you know, marvelous. And it wasn't too far from here. You know what I mean? And say marvelous. And I say once again, don't forget you can go to our YouTube channel, Breakthrough TV, and watch the full interview. It is a very, very good interview. So, and also, I must say, 'cause I've had my moments on this program as well. And at the end of that interview, in that particular program, a strange thing was actually I was actually overcome, I think. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that clip to show you, but I actually was overcome. When you talk about dedication, you know what I mean? And so it was one of those ones, you know, it was absolutely marvelous. Let me go to sort of, gonna go to another clip, which should be actually week 40. And see how we can get this up. As I say, we've had so much fun making this clip as well. And this was a wonderful lady we having. We was actually talking about, I think we was actually talking about Boris Johnson. She was actually around. Her name was Gemma.
Your bill is going up. Your car tax is going up.
Yeah.
your car fuel is going up. Everything is going up. And nobody's not doing anything about it. You know what I mean? Not even the people, you know.
No.
Not even the people are not saying anything about it. They just take it on page.
It's all you can really do in this country. And I mean, that brings me on to what's been going on in my mind.
Okay, what's going on in your mind?
Obviously, I think it's going on in everyone's mind is Boris.
Boris.
Good old Boris Johnson.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's kind of shown how there's one rule for one set of people and another rule for another set of people. Yeah. But with that being said, the picture that kind of stood out in my mind that really kind of triggered me to think about all of this was the picture of the Queen attending her husband's funeral. Yeah. And she attended under the rules of what the government stated, which is, you know, social distancing, you can't have a lot of gathering, etc. She followed the rules to a T, yet the night before there was a party. And it's also transpired that wasn't the only party that Boris Johnson actually celebrated his birthday and had people
that's right,
you know, celebrate. I mean, it's sort of like you were the one that put these rules out and yet you couldn't follow them yourself. That doesn't make any sense to me. But then sitting down and talking to my husband, he's also saying that, wow, you have to remember the school that he's attended, because how we behave as adults, it's kind of influenced by your upbringing. And your upbringing consists of your home, your school, and if you attend anything religious, you know. And the school that Boris went to was Eton. And they tend to teach children there how to kind of bend the rules to suit them, or how to break the rules to suit them. That is what they teach you.
We had Gemma there, and she was talking about Boris Johnson and the lockdown and the lockdown party that they actually had. And even to this day, you know, people are still talking about the lockdown party. And Boris is still a bit of a trouble, isn't he? Because I don't think he's fully escaped that yet. I know because he's a bit busy and, you know, a lot of things happening. He's been to India and he's been to Ukraine and all that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? But that was the time, and I think the report, you know what I mean, is still, the full report has not yet been published about the whole Partygate issue, you know what I mean? I know he came back and he apologized. And look, that was months ago. He came back and he apologized to the House of Parliament and all that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? But it's still there, you know what I mean? And some people say he may resign and he may resign. Me personally, I don't think Boris is about to resign anytime soon. You know what I mean? But it's, as I say, it was one of those ones that we, and I said, the wonderful Gemma there came in and we had a great chat, you know what I mean? She was actually a fantastic lady. We had a great chat about actually what was going on. And we say big thanks to her for actually came into our studio and having a good chat with us. And don't forget, all those programs are still out there. If you want to see those programs, you can actually go back to those programs. Let's have a look at program 41, you know what I mean? And this is in the House of Parliament.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank Sue Gray for the diligence and professionalism with which she's carried out her work. It's no fault of hers that she's only been able to produce an update today, not the full report. The Prime Minister repeatedly assured the House that the guidance was followed and the rules were followed. But we now know that 12 cases have reached the threshold for criminal investigation, which I remind the House means that there is evidence of serious and flagrant breaches of lockdown, including the party on the 20th of May 2020, which we know the Prime Minister attended, and the party...
I would say that's the House of Parliament discussing that situation. And since then, quite a few members of Parliament have actually been found. They've had a fine, you know what I mean? I mean, the Tory party members of that who was at that lockdown party, I think they've actually had a fine, you know what I mean? How much they've been fined, we don't know. How much they have to pay, we don't know. But also Theresa May was talking about it.
On the freedoms of members of the public. They had a right to expect their Prime Minister to have read the rules, to understand the meaning of the rules, and indeed those around him to have done so too, and to set an example in following those rules. What the Gray report does show is that number 10 Downing Street was not observing the regulations they had imposed on members of the public. So either my right honourable friend had not read the rules, or didn't understand what they meant, and others around him, or they didn't think the rules applied to number 10. Which was it?
Theresa May, they've been strong and been tough about they didn't understand the rules. How can you make rules and say you don't understand them, you know what I mean? But the former Prime Minister there wasn't messing around with Boris. And I don't think they're very good friends anyway, because you know how Theresa May comes out of power, you know, and then Boris got it. So I don't think they have ever been good friends anyway. So there's probably a little bit of thing going on. But she's actually talking some sense there, you know what I mean? And, of what's happening with the Partygate and all that sort of stuff. And she's actually talking once again about the Sue Grade report, you know what I mean? That they seem, and Sue Grade has come up with such a wonderful report, you know what I mean? And I say we still wait to see all of that report, you know what I mean? We're still waiting, and I don't think they've actually published all of that report yet, but we'll see what happens, you know what I mean? But as I say, it's one of those ones that a lot of people still deep down are still not very happy because of the fact that a lot of us was in lockdown, and some PM or some member of Boris' party, they was actually breaking the rules, which is not a very good thing, you know what I mean? So now, this was a great interview I had here with Shazzy D. Shazzy D was wonderful, a marvelous lady. And we see if we can hear what she has to say. This was week 42.
You say that, and I believe as time has gone by, when you look back, lots of discussions have taken place in open forums like this.
Yeah.
But there's never been
Nothing happened.
Conclusion.
It doesn't move on.
No.
Nothing happened.
You air it, you say.
I said that was Shazzy D there telling us about what was on her mind. And I said that was actually a marvelous interview we was actually having there, which was actually great. And it was said big shout out to you, Shazzy D, you know what I mean, for coming into the studio and talking to us. And she actually says big congratulations to us this week. So I know she sends a big congratulations. Let me say thank you, one, my sister. And big success.
Treading on them to push them back down.
Treading on each other.
Yeah, no, it should be about helping each other up.
I totally agree. And you got another situation where, you know, some of the senior citizen, the knowledge they've got, the knowledge they've got, the knowledge they could share, and it's like sometimes you ask them and they don't want to know. They wouldn't even share. And I mean, there's a well-known person that I actually talk to, and when we ask him for some ideas, the first thing he turned around and said, "Have you got the copyright for it? Can I get the copyright for it?"
Oh dear.
I just want the information. Just share the information. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they've got a lot of knowledge, and you just never ever sort of can get onto that knowledge.
This
you know?
untrusting nature again.
Yeah.
Because they've been bitten and sold out and abused with it before, so they become recluses with it and they don't want to share it, which is sad.
But do you think we got a problem in the fact, as I say, we're opening a camera rooms. Do you think we got a problem in the fact that was week 42 and me and Shazzy having a good chat about even some of the senior citizens that was to share their information with the younger generation, and I feel very, very strongly about that, you know what I mean? Me not tell them nothing, you know, them nothing, me not tell them, me not go get it from somewhere else, which is so disappointing because, you know, the senior citizens can make such, I'm not saying they don't, you know, I know some of them do, but some of them, you're just not getting any information, you know. I'm reaching senior citizens soon. Never mind, you know what I mean. And I would gladly help anyone. I'd gladly pass my information to anyone. I've done this all over the years since I've been alive because I can't take it with me. I'm only passing through. So why are you taking with it? Why are you taking with you? You know what I mean? So, and I say it's just one of those things that we always feel that sometimes it's good to share. You know what I mean? A lot of information, you know what I mean, and it helps educate, you know what I mean. It helps to educate and helps to know where you're trying to go, you know what I mean. So it's one of those ones. So as I say, thank you for tuning into the wonderful program, you know what I mean. And I say, we always like to know that if you want to share some information, you can. And if you are an elder, you know, person or want to talk, you know what I mean, to us, you can come and sort of come and talk on this channel. You're well invited, you know what I mean? We don't have any prejudices on this program, you know what I mean? We don't exclude anyone. The only thing we exclude is that we don't deal with bad language. You know, we don't deal with bad language and we don't deal with people with racism. We condone those, you know what I mean? We don't deal with that sort of thing. But if you got any other views you want to share with us, you are welcome to come and share your view with us at any time, yeah? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Want to say once again, thank you for tuning into our program, you know what I mean? As I say, this is another week we're celebrating, because I say we've been celebrating that year. Let's have a good time. Thank you for tuning to us. My time is almost here. I want to say a big shout out to my good friend Errol. Big shout out to you. And don't forget to check out our EP, Guitar. You Left Me for Paris. Set Your Spirit Free. All tracks on the album. Mandela. Those Days. A whole lot of tracks on that EP. Don't forget to check us out, yeah. Have a great week. Look after yourself. Stay tuned. We'll be back here next week with another What's on Your Mind. We say thank you. Have a great afternoon. God bless you.
On Your Mind is sponsored by ACMC 339.0, New Style Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam Jam.
Planning an event? Do it professionally. Please contact Breakthrough Event Management Team and get everything under one roof for both indoor and outdoor occasions, birthday parties, bridal and baby showers, anniversaries, funerals, backyard BBQs and more. We offer a video and photography service, marquees, decoration and a PA system to hire, with popular New Style Radio DJs spinning old and new school hits. Please contact 07584 197 380 and book all your catering needs with Reggae Jam Jam catering service on 0787 244 3765. And remember, do it good and done.